90.3 FM. We have Sadat, a brand new being in the building. He just put out a brand new record.
Yeah.
Love Hella Right.
Love Hella Right.
Don't forget to cop that on undergroundhiphop.com, all your record stores, iTunes, everywhere.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I want to say thank you for coming through. And
thank you for having me.
You know, I've known you for some time now,
yes.
And I must say, as many people try to say that when the veterans have lost it, but you're one of the few veterans out there still doing your thing. You still perform well. I got to see you at the 5 spot. And the new music, to me, sounds better than some of the older stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it feels like, man, you know, I'm having a rebirth right now, man, physically and mentally, man. I took some time off, and I said, you know, in order for me to stay in this game, man, I got to be right, man. So I wanted to get my mind right, got my physical right. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm here and I'm going, man. And it's like, a lot of times, man, people, like, say, they try to put, rap in an age box or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they're like, well, when you gonna stop rapping? And I'm like, it's not as simple. It's not like a light switch where you turn the light on and off. Like, this is my coach and this is what I do. And when you think of music, when you think of rap in terms of music, like, for instance, if you compare it to classical music, you got compositions that was made 300-400 years ago. You understand? Whereas rap is if you put a age cap on rap, the most you could probably put on it right now is 50. So basically, it's still defining itself and it's still making categories as we go. You understand? Those people, a lot of those people that came out with the pioneers of it, and those are people that still love rap, man, and they there, man. And, you know, now I'm just in a different category. You understand? I know and respect the music that my daughter listens to, but I'm a little older. My music is geared towards people that maybe have to pay bills. You know, people that's raising children and doing things like that. It's for that type of genre. And if I can reach some of my youth, I'm always there for the youth also.
And yeah, because I remember you're also a school teacher, I believe.
Yeah, I taught in the Rochelle public school system.
Yeah, and I know you also coach basketball as well. I know
Definitely.
So you're a fan of the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks.
Well, you know, I'm the blue and orange man, but let me tell you, it's a great thing, man, that the Nets came to Brooklyn, man. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, sorry that we had to take it from Jersey. You know, I love Jersey, man, and maybe I wish they could have worked it out. Maybe they can bring a team back here, but you know, it's good that we got the Nets, man, and it's a good thing downtown.
Well, my main question I wanted to ask you, because you were speaking of how the different genres of music, and recently I know you heard that, well, Run DMC they've been inducted into the Hip Rock and Roll Hall of Fame whether it's the Beastie Boys and Grandmaster Flash, and recently Public Enemy, they were just nominated for induction.
Yeah.
And being this, and why I was very happy for them, because them being from Long Island, and I was telling you earlier, I relate to you, because after growing up in Jersey, you being from New Rochelle, when you would first come into the city to do like shows and open mics, I know you have some people living in the Bronx, when New Rochelle's right in the Bronx, who don't know where New Rochelle is. When you would come into the city, when you were coming up, did you feel intimidated and like?
Well, I never felt intimidated, because you got to understand, I was born in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. You understand? I got to this day, I got 9 aunts that live in a concentrated area of the Bronx. I'm talking about Concourse Village, Park Avenue, Jackson Projects, and Melrose Projects, where to this day I still got aunts over there. So it was a little bit different for me because I came from hip hop. I knew what it was. Mm-hmm. And surprising, and not really surprising, when I got to New Rochelle knew what hip hop was. I mean, we had a place up there called the Remington Boys Club where they had Cold Crush Brothers come through and Jazzy Five. So it was a little different. Like sometimes we come through and they may confuse it like with Mount Vernon or something like that. Because if you look at the geography of New York and Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, those places were included into the New York metropolitan area at first, but then they broke away and became their own principalities, their own cities. Mm-hmm. But you know, sometimes they'd ask us, the thing that they'd say is, y'all are from upstate. Whereas in New Rochelle, in certain buildings you can stand in New Rochelle and see the Bronx. You can see Co-op City from New Rochelle. So, you know, it was basically like, you know, like on that era, but we came, you know, we did what we did.
Mm. Well, and also, I mean, the same of your album release party, that was 22 years since Brand New being released their first record.
Yes.
That was actually 22 years that day. I was
like,
wow.
That was, I mean, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, you really, like, that awoke in it, definitely.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, appreciate it, no question.
But back to the new album, Love Hella Right. How come you decided to make this solo album? I know you sometimes do your solo albums in gaps, like, and why do you think many rappers do that?
Well, I mean, I did this like this because, you know, I was doing a lot of stuff on the road, and you know, I was gone for a minute, and that's in the mathematics. You know, love, hell, right. In order to love, you must go through hell to become right. You understand? And that's what I wanted to put out. And some people said there was already some albums with that title, and that's cool. And I'm not trying to step on that, but that was my meaning of it. And I just wanted to do something this time with a couple of people that I was fans of, and I wanted to rock with. Like, I'm a fan of Pharoah Monch. I'm a fan of Rock Marciano. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a fan of My Son and D.O.T. And that's a key to stay in this game. In order to stay in this game, you got to still be a fan. You understand? As far as I'm concerned, as getting older, you know, you got to be a fan, man. And I'm a fan of this. I love it, and that's what fuels me. When I hear somebody say a good verse, in my mind, I'm like, damn, I wish I could have said that. So that keeps me going. And as long as I got that fire in me, man, that's what drives me and motivates me.
And also, with all that being said, I know you're also a low-lifer. You remember?
Oh yeah, definitely low life. Like I was, you know, like and it's funny. It's funny because you know, I know they did their thing and they was like back in them days, but like back in them days, we was up in New Rochelle. We was doing our things too. Like we had a mall in Macy's. You understand what I'm saying? Well, we used to hit that. At one point, me and my man Spark hit Macy's in New Rochelle every day for about 4 or 5 months. We also had Scarsdale up there, and if you know anything about New York and Scarsdale is one of the richest
that's one of the
areas
in the country, actually.
Okay, so you can imagine they wasn't used to brothers coming in there. They had a store called Lord and Taylor's. We used to go into Lord and Taylor's. I remember one Christmas Eve we went in there about 11:30. The store closed at 12. We went straight to the low section. Alamo was with me. Mark the Spark was with me. And my other man, Terry, was with me. We already had the coats made with the stash spots in it. And we went in there. It was 11:30. The store closed at 12. We went in there, put everything on. They followed us out. Long story short, I fell coming out of there, broke my ankle, but was still able to get to the crib. That day, we must have had about no exaggeration, at least $10,000 worth of stuff.
Wow! You still have some? Those still collector's items? You still have some of that?
Well, see, that's like a lot of that stuff. A lot of like chicks took a lot of my stuff. Then a lot of the stuff I had in boxes, and my mother threw away a lot of my stuff too. She was like, I just thought they was old clothes. I'm like, nah, man, you wasn't supposed to throw that away. Like all my ski patrol joints and the Indian. I had an Indian leather joint where. Oh man, I'm sick to even think about it.
And I know you've also being in the legendary group that you're in. I'm sure you've traveled overseas. You've been hip hop has been able to take you around the world and around the globe. How's the hip hop scene when you go to other countries and the way they embrace the culture? Because from what I understand, in places like Japan and in Paris, France, they go crazy for that.
Well, see what it is over there, like I've been to shows. Like recently, I was over there in Germany, and I've been to a couple of shows where it's actually been people that come to the shows where they've brought their kids out with them, and they would like, I want my kids to see the real, like I want them to see this hip hop, and I want them to experience you just like I experienced you, and it's good, man, because a lot of times over there they get into the culture of it, the lyrics aspect, you know what I'm saying? They just have an overall love for it, whereas. Over here, it's been sort of kind of watered down because when you understand, when I first came out, hip hop was like a boutique. You understand what I'm saying? It was a boutique store, and now hip hop is kind of like the mall. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the mall, like anybody. And then also came with the advent of the computer. You understand? Because the computer's been twofold. It's been a great thing, but it's been a bad thing. It's been a great thing in the aspect of it reaches the world now. It's media outlets that you can reach now. I mean, who would have thought back then I could do a verse here and send it to there? But also now, you can create a persona in the crib. So now, you can create your image and be everything in the crib and really not be that person. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's kind of funny now, but you can't hate on it, and you got to move with the times and adapt to the times.
And I can honestly say, from meeting you and meeting the members of Brand Nubian, a lot of times you'll meet, I think you might not have to, for many people who are fans of the culture, and when you hear a lot of your favorite rappers, you hear them on the mic, you might not have to know them, but 9 times out of 10, you can tell who they are when you meet them. And I can honestly say you fit that persona. Like when I met you, like right. the lyrics are who you are. But then you have some guys, when you meet them and when they get on the mic,
yeah, it don't feel real, man. It's not real.
And I'm not talking about the swagger that comes from within. Mm-hmm. Because everybody has a character, as Hakeem and we talked about the last time he was here. Many MCs have this character that they'll portray them. But when you see some of these other guys, that's not you at all.
It's not, definitely.
It's not. But I must say, I want to say thank you, and thank you for bringing us the album. I've heard cuts off. You got tracks with Master Ace, production from Showbiz. I mean, you can show a lot of these young guys a thing or two about the mic.
Oh yeah, and it's also like, you know, I worked with a lot of veterans on there, but then I worked with a lot of dudes that's just coming up. Like, let me look at this. For instance, like my man KP, good dude out of Dallas, did some joints for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know him from a can of beans. He on Facebook, he said, on Twitter, he said he was a fan and we could connect. And like I tell people, I don't care where it comes from, as long as it sounds good. And also, that's another thing that I like to do too, is somebody gave me a helping hand when I was coming up. I was that dude that was rhyming. I was the dude that was at all Pooh Bar shows when he was with Masters of Ceremony. I was the dude that he took to the studio and be like, yo, just sit there and watch and learn. So if I can help out somebody, I like to do that, man. Like, I take, like, his beats from on there, like, from Marco Polo and DJ Spinner. Like, we all know those people, but we don't know the KP. You know what I'm saying? We don't know my man Willie Bang. And that's what I wanted to bring out, too. Let people know them, give them a stepping stone, and let them do what they do.
Yeah, and I know you did a verse for a friend of ours, Verse Essentials. You were on his album.
Yeah, definitely. Verse Essentials, my man. I just did a verse a little while ago for my man Hakeem. I did something for him. That's my man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's...
Say hi, yo.
Yeah, man, it's like... Good, like I like to be around intelligent people, like good dude, knowledgeable, world knowledgeable, not about what's going on now, what's going on with the culture, things, rap, and life. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here to promote.
Thank you, and I want to say thank you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
Sadat X, don't forget to cop his album.
Yeah.
Love Hella Right. And you have other records that people should cop, the Wild Cowboys.
Yeah, Wild Cowboys Part 2, Love Hella Right.
I know you got the album Elder Sensei coming out, XL.
Oh, man, and I'm really proud of that, man, because we taking our time with that. And as opposed to a lot of albums or collab albums where people send the verses back and forth, with this, we wanted to make sure, that's why it's taking a little longer, because we really actually sat and we did 98% of the songs together. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes... You know, it's cool when you send the verses back and forth, and there's no problem with that. But sometimes when you're there with that person, it's a different type of chemistry, and that's what we wanted to convey on this album. I think, you know, I think people gonna feel that Elder Sensei has been, in my opinion, one of the most underrated MCs for a long time. That's been as nice as he is from a long time. Probably one of the nicest dudes you ever gonna meet.
He is one of the most humble.
That's my man, no question.
Got him on my album too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and like I said, I mean, it's the Backpackers meeting the God. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, I want to say again, thank you, Sadat, for coming through. Don't be a stranger. Come back.
No
You're gonna stick around and do a freestyle for us, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely, no
doubt.
doubt.
Air to the Streets every Monday night. Now we're on that Ustream TV, radio /EAR to the streets every Monday night, 9 p.m. to midnight. Cop the brand new Sadat X album, Love Hella Right. Don't forget to get it, y'all.